you outside giving these updates throughout the morning. I'm here in the live desk trying to keep people up to speed. We have a couple of different reporters and photographers who are in the building taking care of all of this, and of course all the people back here. It's a lot of resources devoted to following this case, which is going to take quite a bit of time. Obviously, that underscores kind of the importance to the community of a case like this, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We heard from the judge that the case is anticipated to last up to 2 weeks. And just even, you know, in any case, any trial, you know, jury selection is a process, but you could tell that the community and just viewers and the Milwaukee people, they, you know, there is a lot of attention on this case, and, you know, the way that it's, the way it'll play out, I guess.
From where you are outside, have you seen anything? Are there any sort of demonstrations, any family members, community members out there today, or has that been pretty quiet?
For the most part, you know, we've noticed, actually, Aaron Maben, who I know was on the live desk yesterday, he's been seeing some people who have just been coming out to sit in the courtroom gallery throughout the course of the trial just to support the family and loved ones of Robinson. As, you know, obviously, you hear the details that are read by prosecutors and defense and everybody, all the evidence that's shown in the courtroom. It's heavy stuff, heavy, very gruesome stuff, and, you know, you imagine your loved one, that's your loved one. So I think that the community has showed up in that part, even just going there to support in the gallery. I haven't seen anyone out here specifically today, but I'm sure there's people in there supporting as well.
I would imagine we'll see a lot more as things get closer to this case wrapping up, whether it's in a couple of weeks or whenever this is. I do wonder, you know, just in following this, you've had to sit and watch this testimony. I'm watching it. We're all keeping eyes on this. We have a digital manager who is transcribing each and every witness so that we can go back and review those things. But one thing that stands out to me, and I wonder how it is for you as you watch this, sometimes you watch a trial and the testimony is emotional and it's gripping and it's personal and it's human, and this is a case that's going to have some of that. But then a lot of it is really technical and dry. Like I said, we're reviewing video surveillance and timestamps and what does this image show versus that, and let's look at the pings of a cell phone. Some of this it's kind of hard to keep your focus and then make sure you don't miss something critical, right?
100%, and you actually said it perfectly. Obviously, during opening statements, you know, that's very grabbing. Those opening statements from both the defense and the state, just basically laying out their case, or a preview of their case, but, you know, now hearing how the actual evidence is being presented, you're right on the fact that there's a lot of technical information, cell phone data, times, pings here, you know, surveillance video and things like that, just kind of trying to connect the dots as they present it to the jury. So it is a lot of technical information, and you really do have to be paying attention, because, you know, you could miss something if you don't.
I know that we heard in opening statements from the defense that for the first time they get to sort of give their story, and one of theirs, a big thing they're focusing on is there's no murder weapon that's been found, there's no bloody crime scene, there's no DNA that gives a direct evidentiary connection between Maxwell Anderson and an action that kills Sade Robinson. So they're saying, you know, don't just listen to what the state has, listen to what they don't. But today I thought it was interesting that they really wanted to focus on those pills in her safe. There's no evidence that there was any methamphetamine or any other illegal drug in her system, but the defense also said, well, that could be because her body had been dismembered and the blood had been lost, and so they couldn't detect that sort of thing. But they raised it because they said maybe it means she was mixed up with the wrong people. She was mixed up with the kind of people who have a propensity for violence. I feel like that's the first we've heard of any kind of potential alternative theory that, hey, maybe it was someone in the drug trade who might have killed her and not Maxwell Anderson. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see, you're right on the fact that it's interesting to actually see the defense side of how they're kind of handling this and how they're approaching this, and, you know, their approach in order to try to prove that, you know, Anderson is not guilty of this. It's interesting to hear that, and I remember from the opening statement, his attorney actually said that, and I quote, he said something along the lines of when he was making his opening remarks, he said that, just because they knew each other, he said he doesn't deny any of the evidence that shows that they did, in fact, know each other and went on a date, but just because they did doesn't mean he killed her. So it was interesting, and that kind of stuck with me out of the opening remarks on the defense side, hearing that. So it's interesting to see how the defense is kind of approaching this and how it's playing out in the court.